There are now mixed reports that now it's 50-50 whether Ange Postecoglou stays or goes following his victory in the Europa League. And now the fan base are torn. So if Ange Postecoglou stays and does Daniel Levy does what the fans want, Tottenham fans want, why are we Levy out? We should give him a lot more credit, and he's doing exactly what the fan base wants. Let's get straight into it. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, this is your boy Mr. Box Office from Mr. Box Office TV, back with another video review today. On the day where it's parade day, we're in celebration mode. But then, when we're in celebration mode on winning Europa League, the biggest thing that we've seen in the last 2 decades, Ange Postecoglou, who, I stick by what I say, is the most successful manager of the past 2 decades. I've given him credit where credit is due, even though I've criticised him or don't like him as a manager. But now the tide seems to be turning with the fan base and some with the journalists as well. Some journalists are sticking to what the story is. They expect Ange Postecoglou to go soon. And that hasn't changed. The decision will be made on this decision soon. But there is a bit of a tide changing with the fan base, and some journalists are now changing their rhetoric to now saying it's 50-50. Ange Postecoglou will stay or go at Tottenham. There's also Ange Postecoglou himself saying, I'm not going. I've still got more things to do at the club. So now, Daniel Levy's got a decision to make. And if he does keep Ange Postecoglou, because now I'm hearing a lot of people saying we need to give him more than 6 months now because he's proved himself and he's earned it. Well, Daniel Levy is doing exactly what the fans wanted. He did what the fans wanted as we go back when he got Postecoglou in. Like he said when we had that long search for a manager and we got in Nuno, he wants someone who can play free-flowing attacking football. And what do he give us? Ange Postecoglou to give us free-flowing attacking exciting football. We only just realised after a while that this free-flowing attacking football that we had isn't really a free-flowing attacking football that is balanced. Hence the reason why we've had the worst season in the past 2 decades, being 17th and 21 losses this season. Now, because of the win for the Europa League, and that's got us into the Champions League next season, the windfall that it brings with money, revenue, and everything else with it, and the exposure as well from the Champions League, the coverage. Now it seems the tide has turned. The fact that he's won a big trophy, a massive trophy, regardless of what we think about how we got there. And a lot of the Tottenham fan base are saying, you can't sack him. You can't sack a man like that who's won a trophy. And then you get to some fans that are saying, why are we discussing this now? We can't discuss this now. We need to enjoy it. And this is the thing and the problem I have at the moment. He's even got a lot of former ex-players who used to be in the game, who used to play for Tottenham, like Gareth Bale saying, yeah, why are you sacking him for? You should keep him. His job's not finished yet. He's proved his point. Alan Shearer backing him as well. So the support for Ange Postecoglou to stay is growing. And it does also, admittedly right now, put a lot of pressure on the hierarchy because they have to get this right. Because if they do sack Postecoglou and they get the wrong man in, the fan base will really be angry. And some of the things that you might hear from Tottenham fans, they will point the finger straight at Daniel Levy. And so this is another thing which adds to this saga that is only now blown up because Ange Postecoglou's done what no one else could do since 2008. But we can't ignore the 21 games that we've lost. We can't ignore that no one has improved. People can say whatever they want. They will say Basuma, Bentancur, Romero, Van der Ven, Adoji, Poro look very good in Europa League. But where are these performances in the league? And it's about consistency. And when Ange dismisses that and says, well, this was the whole process, you've got to start looking at it and say, you've got to start questioning it. And it just adds to the point. It's not a point of trying to be controversial here. This is a genuine question. Would you keep a manager even though we've only got 38 points and in any other season, that is relegation form. That's relegation. That's a team getting relegated in any other season. In some seasons, that's good enough. But in other seasons, it would be not good enough and you'll get relegated. The only reason why we're not in relegation problems is because the three teams didn't put a fight up. Ipswich, Southampton, and Leicester City. That's the only reason why he was able to play a second team later on in the season. And he could just forget about the league in January, like he said, after the cup final, when you won. And it's ironic he said that after the cup final, when we won, because he couldn't say that if we lost. But because he won, everyone just don't think about it. But that comment was kind of parting shot to say, well, I didn't need to worry about it. My reputation is about winning in my second season. So what I'm saying is, are you telling me that he would have risked us getting relegated for him to keep his reputation of winning his second season? So there's two ways of looking at this. And then you go on to the whole thing about, and this is where it really hurts for Tottenham fans, really, really hurts for Tottenham fans. If you're going to start praising Ange Postecoglou, you've got to look at Daniel Levy. He's the one that employed him. You've got to look at Scott Munn, that we said, I don't rate him at all. I don't think he's done anything. But if we're going to start sticking with Ange Postecoglou, why are we going to get back Fabio Paratici back? Why do we need him? Why do we need him? We've got Scott Munn. We've got Johan Lang. Everyone is in place. And because they are very much responsible for us winning the Europa League as much as Ange has. They have an influence on the win in the Europa League as well. So if he stays, Ange Postecoglou, Scott Munn should stay. Johan Lang should stay. Because the process is working. It is working. So this is the point I make. We can't say, oh, we've got to keep Ange, but no, we don't want Scott Munn, we don't want Johan Lang. Why? They're part of the success, then, as much as Ange Postecoglou. doesn't make sense whatsoever. And then at the end, people are saying to me, we need to keep him for another 6 months because he deserves it. Okay, great. Levy is doing what you want. So there's no criticism for Levy then. No criticism for Levy. So everybody that backed Levy have been justified. JR rated. Sean Butler. Spurs Talk Show. They've all been justified by why they defended him in the first place. Levy's given what all the fan base wanted. When they got frustrated with Pochettino for not winning, he got in Mourinho, Jose Mourinho. Oh, Jose Mourinho's too much. No, we don't like the football. He got rid of him, put in Mason. Oh, Mason, he's not got no experience. Taken a long time, got in Nuno. Oh, Nuno's useless. Got in Antonio Conte. Oh, Antonio Conte, no, don't like the football. Gets in Ange Postecoglou. He's doing exactly what we wanted. Oh, we need a youth project. We need younger players. We've got a youth project. Archie Gray, Bergvall, Mikey Moore. Levy is doing exactly what he wants. Oh, he don't spend enough money. 400 million spent. And this manager wants more money. He wants a top midfielder, experienced midfielder now. Experienced midfielder that he dismissed last season. Dismissive last season, said he didn't need it. So, what do you want, Tottenham fans? What do you want? Do you want Ange Postecoglou to stay? Or do you want to move forward with a new manager and take that risk, take that gamble that you criticise Daniel Levy for, that he don't take gambles? So you don't want to take a gamble on sacking Ange Postecoglou, who's been terrible in the league, but because he's won Europa League games like Alkmaar, Frankfurt, okay, cool, but didn't have Mamouche, and Bodo Glimt, and Manchester United, who, let's be honest here, didn't have anybody up front. And I told you we were going to win all those games after we beaten Frankfurt. So on a lucky win in Europa League, yes, giving credit to Ange Postecoglou for winning it, but because of that Europa League run, we are keeping a manager. And before Tottenham fans say anything to me, what did you say about Ten Hag? And by the way, I admit, I said, yeah, good on Ten Hag for winning the FA Cup in his second season, and the first season, the Carabao Cup, and getting Champions League. But look what happened to Man United. 6 months later, sacked Ten Hag, then get Ruben Amorim in, and then he needs his players. And look how much money he had to spend on Ten Hag, and they're regretting it right now. Ask Chelsea fans about Di Matteo when he won the Champions League, and that was the Champions League. And look what happened. They had to sack him 6 months later. Sometimes you've got to not let your emotions take over your head. And it's quite easy what needs to be happening right now. For me, it's quite easy. And you know what I feel. Ange Postecoglou needs to go. And we need a new manager in. And it needs to be a big clear out. But we know who's coming in right now. The Don, Fabio Paratici. But if he does come in and Ange Postecoglou stays, it really avoids the whole logic of what we're doing here. Is there any logic to that? But If he stays, Daniel Levy's doing what the fans wanted, keeping faith in the manager. Like I said, he's keeping faith in the manager. So why are we saying we want Levy out there when he's doing exactly what we wanted? That's all, folks. Come from your boy, Mr. Box Office, the main event. I'll be back soon with another video. Enjoy the parade. Enjoy the moments. Let's get real, Tottenham fans. We need to move forward with a new manager. And as always, I'll wrap up this video. If you didn't know, get to know. Support your boy, Mr. Box Office. Subscribe and like. And come on, you Spurs. And I'm out.